Now, I should mention that when I scan these, I scan them against a black surface so that I'm already black surrounding the stamp. If it's on a cover, then I can't quite get the nice effect here with the perfs, but it gives you the same basic results. So now I've got a duplicate image, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate this image. And the way I'm going to do that, I've got it selected. You can see the 8 handles on the JPEG, and I'm going to grab a hold of the top middle one, and I'm going to drag it down about 1/3 of the way down towards the middle. So I'm left click and hold and go down about 1/3. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom center handle. Left click hold and come up about 1/3. And actually I usually go a little further, so I was just kind of guesstimating there. Some guys will be very precise in how they do this, and I kind of do it by feel. So I'm going to go a little further with this one, just about right there. So it's more like 1/4, I think, of the page. And you could do it that way also, just kind of guesstimate. You could get precise. You could see on the left there is a scale on the left that would help you if you wanted to. But this seems to work for me. Now that I've done that, now I'm going to select the middle handle on the left, and I'm going to click and hold and drag it all the way to the left edge of the page. Do the same thing with the middle handle on the right, drag it all the way to the end of the page. So if I drag too far, you'll see the black rectangle kind of extend over the base rectangle, and I'm going to let go. Okay, so now I've pretty much got the look I want. And so what I want to do now is kind of make it easier to see. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go up to my Picture Tools tab, which is up above in the middle, and I'm going to click on Picture Format. So I'm going to left click once on that, and that opens up all these different options, and the one I want is Crop. So I'm going to select Crop and left click one time on Crop, and you can see the handles turn into lines now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cursor and put it right over the top of that one line on the middle on the right. You can see it turns into a little sort of sideways T-shaped cursor. I'm going to left click and hold, and now I'm going to drag it all the way over to the left till I get to the diamond block, which is right there, and let go. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the left just to get rid of all this black space here, because that's unnecessary. So I'm going to grab on the left handle. It's still in crop mode. I'm going to left click and hold and just move it off to the right. Usually I go right to the edge of the perfs. The perfs aren't too important to me in this scenario, so I usually just let go about right there. Sometimes there's a frame line on the stamp next door, and I usually like to save, keep that in the image if it's there, just for, that's kind of helpful. So now I've got it cropped down to where I want. I'm going to click away from that cropped image, left click once, and now it's there. So I'm going to click on it again now, and now it's showing the regular handlebars. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to expand this, and I want to leave the proportions where they are. So I'm just going to grab on one of the corner handles. I'll grab on this lower right one, left click and hold, and I'm going to pull it down. So it's leaving the proportions just exactly where they were. And I pull it down so it's not quite as tall as the original stamp image. And this again is, I'm kind of just go by the appearance. Some guys are going to make sure the measurements and the proportions are precise, especially if they're making a chart with all of the compressions on it. They want to be consistent. In my case, I'm a little more flexible. So now I've created this left frame line compression, and now I'm going to do the same on the right, but I want to make sure that the left and the right are at the exact same proportions. So I'm not going to start with the image of the stamp. I'm going to start with the image of the compression. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to copy and paste it just like I did before. I'll show you how I do it with the mouse. So I right click. It's going to show options. I'm going to click copy. And then I'm going to right click again anywhere in this rectangle. Doesn't matter where I do it. I can do it. But I'm going to do it right here where I was. Right click and you will see paste options, and I want this first one. So just hit that. So now I've got a copy of that frame line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's lined up pretty well vertically. And you can see it is lined up pretty well vertically. It's not perfect, but that's fine. And now I'm going to go back to that crop option. So I'll go up to the top, click on picture format. I selected that tab, and I'm going to go all the way over to the right and select crop. Click it once, and that opens up this file, and you can see that the rest of the stamp is in there. It's just hidden. A little bit quicker way is to click away from the image, select it again with the regular handles, and move the whole thing over here to the right. And now I'm going to go back and click the crop tool. Now when I drag, it can drag further. So I'll left click and hold in the image and move all the way over here like that. Do that again. Left click. Oops, I went past the edge of the stamp. So I'm going to move myself back and forth. You can see I can move in and out around here as long as I leave the left click down. As before, I want it to be right around the left edge of the diamond block, and then I'm going to let go. And there, now I'm going to click away from it, and there I've got the right frame line compression. I want to magnify especially these two lower corners, because this is looking like it's quite possibly a 26A. 26A has the sort of hand scribe look on the frame lines, and you can see that this does indeed have a hand scribe look. The frame lines do not go straight like an arrow or have a consistent curve to them. Sometimes you'll see it kind of with a long curved arc, but basically a straight line, very consistent. This does not have that. So it sort of makes me think it might be a 26A. Plus, I see down at the bottom that I've got a very clear frame line end that I want to show that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on the stamp image again, and I'm going to do that copy and paste. So it's quicker to take my pinky, click and hold down the control key and then hit the C key, and then do the same thing, hit control and hit V, and it created a copy. So if I grab that, you'll see it's an exact copy of the first image. Now I want to blow up this lower left corner, and the way I'm going to do that, I've got the image selected. Make sure the image is selected. It's selected here. It's actually in front of the original image. And then I'm going to go back up to Picture Tools, and I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to select Crop. And now I want to limit what you can see to just that lower left corner. So I've got these handles with the crop handles. I'm going to go up to the upper right corner, left click and hold, and I'm going to sort of isolate that corner. So I dragged it down and I let go when I had roughly what I wanted. Now I can take this and left click and hold and sort of drag it in here so that I don't have too much black. I can move it around. That's about what I want right there. So now I'm going to click away from it, and you can see I've got this little image. I could grab it, left click and hold, and pull it over here. I want to make it bigger. I want it to be bigger than the original image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click and hold this compression, and I'm going to move it up. Okay, and now I'll take this, highlight it again, and grab one of the corners and pull it, and do it one here too. That creates a nice enlargement that clearly shows where that frame line end is, and it supports the idea that it might be a 26A, although it looks like this is not a top row. I mean, this could be a bottom row stamp. It could be a relief F, so it's possible that it's a relief F bottom row, just regular 26 stamp. My thinking is that it's a 26A. And usually what I do then is I put a border around this image, and that's pretty easy to do. You just go over to this menu that's open on the right. I'm going to click the fill and line button at the top, click it, and where it says line, I'm going to go solid line, and I usually put a white line around it, so I'll just select white for my color, and then click away from the image, and you can see it gave it a white line. Now if you click back on that image and you want to make a thicker line, you could go down in this same menu and see where it says width. You could just start clicking on this little up arrow, and you can see as I click it makes the line thicker. I got it at 2.5 whatever points, 2.5 point line, and that looks about right, so I'm going to click away from it. So now I've got that. I am going to move this one on this line compression on the right up so that it's still about opposite its partner on the left.